My perspective project is about the Obergefell versus Hodges court case, which made same-sex marriage legal in all 50 states in the U.S., overriding the last 13 states' decisions. The legalization was a big movement for the LGBTQ plus community and their movement because now they can legally get married anywhere in the U.S. whenever they want. The first point of view comes from James Obergefell, the plaintiff. His then-boyfriend, John Arthur, was diagnosed with ALS, so they decided to get married. Ohio, though, does not recognize same-sex marriage as a legal marriage, so the two decided to travel to Maryland by plane to get married. But because of how John's ALS had progressed, he was confined to his bed on the plane. So they got married on the plane, on the tarmac. After traveling back to Ohio, they found out that James would not be listed as John's living spouse, so they decided to take this case to court. The image on the right represents the two's journey from Ohio to Maryland and back. Ohio in red because they did not support same-sex marriage, and Maryland in green because they did, and the rings representing their marriage. The next perspective comes from a Supreme Court justice and author of all three of the Supreme Court's previous gay rights landmarks, Anthony M. Kennedy. After the case is closed, he goes on to state, "No union is more profound than marriage, for it embodies the highest ideals of love, fidelity, devotion, sacrifice, and family." The third perspective comes from the Chief Justice, John Roberts. He believes that this decision was an act of will and not of legal judgment. Continuing on to say, "The court invalidates the marriage laws of more than half the states and orders the transformation of a social institution that has formed the basis of human society for millennia, the Kalahari Bushmen, the Han Chinese, and the Aztecs." Lastly, I believe that same-sex marriage should not be something that has to be legalized in order to stop the government from denying people their version of happiness. But I do side with legalizing same-sex marriage because people do not get married in order to hurt other people. They get married to show people their happiness and love for one another.